Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the King Chase. Today I have another, beautiful example. And the game we have is between Mikhail Krasenkov against Hikaru Nakamura. Nakamura now one of the strongest players in the world, between number 2 and number 3 right now. And he called this game one of the best ones he has played in his entire career. This is the position on the board. It is a very difficult example, so please take your time. I always like to say it. Please get the maximum out of these videos and don't see it just as entertainment, but also as training, because this is what I like to do with these videos. On the one hand, show you beautiful chess, and on the other hand, help you to improve your skills. So, I don't want to say too much. I'd say rather stop the video right now and try to solve it if you want to set up on a board. Take as much time as you want to. Okay. So I'll show right now what happened. So right now there are a couple of threats in the position. The knight is threatening bishop on e7. Bishop takes f6 might be a threat. So black swiped off the knight on c6. That makes a lot of sense. If white takes on c6, queen takes back, and black's just up material and is winning, of course. So bishop takes f6. That was the whole idea. So in case you didn't calculate rook takes c6, you can have another look right here. How does black continue from here? What can he do? Now the queen is attacked. Okay. The queen is attacked, so the queen should move, right? And the queen moved to f2. And it's just absolutely stunning how everything works together for black here. King takes f2. What else? I mean, if the king goes to h1, black just takes with the queen on f6. And this is just crushing for black. It's up material already. So king takes f2, bishop, oh, that was a little quick. Bishop c5 check. And I just like how it works together. Rook now covering the e file and the rook on the c file, c6, ready to take on f6. So king f3 was played. If king f1, then c3 check, and this bishop is also joining the action. Rook e2, and now c2. Beautiful how the c pawn is going forward and finishing the game. What else can white do? He could play bishop d4, but I wouldn't change too much. Bishop takes, king f3, rook f6 check, king is chased to in the open, knight e5 check, king g5, and bishop c8. And once again, all the black pieces are participating in the attack, and there's nothing white can do to defend himself. Alright, so let's see what happened in the game. King f3 played, rook takes f6 check, king g4, and now knight e5 check. King g5, if white takes on e5, black doesn't take back. No, he gives the check on c8. And now king h4. And here, let's see how black is doing this. I believe now black can just take back. Or maybe rook h6. You guys, by the way, can solve it along with me right here. Rook h6, the point is now, if rook h5, now bishop e7 is checkmate. If queen h5, now rook takes e5, looks very strong. because once again bishop e7 is checkmate. If white takes, still bishop e7, queen g5, and now we have once again a checkmate. The only reason I was hesitating for a moment was king g5. I cannot really believe this is working. Maybe it is. Rook takes e5 and king f4. The king is still not dead. Let's go back for a moment. King h4, maybe simply rook takes e5 and like still having all the threats. Mostly rook h6, and I don't think there's any way white can defend. If he plays g4, then bishop f2, king h5, and a king h3 and rook h5 is another beautiful finish. So don't get fancy here with rook h6, just take on e5 first. Okay, and lastly I should mention, if rook f5, then bishop takes f5, king h4, rook h6 check, king g5, and bishop c8 back, and black is also winning once again, bishop e3 among the threats that white has to worry about. Okay, so let's get back to the game. White didn't take on e5 in the game, he played king g5. Now rook g6 check, king h5, and now f6. Simply setting up the threat rook g5 check, followed by knight g6. So rook takes e5 was played, rook takes e5 and king h4. And one last exercise, there was one more move played in the game here, and then white called it a day. What did Nakamura play here? The last piece should join the action as well. The bishop on a6 didn't participate yet, now he does, and that's it. That's a killer blow. Bishop c8 covering the g4 square, threatening rook h6, and that's it. g4 is already familiar to us after bishop f2. You know what, let's be a little bit more fancy here, shall we? Rook h5, that looks pretty. G takes h5 and bishop f2 checkmate, or king takes rook h6. Oh, wait a sec. I think I'm messing up. King g3. Okay, never mind guys. Let's not be fancy and just checkmate this way. Also kind of pretty. Okay, so after bishop c8, Krasenkov resigned, and that was it. Great game by Nakamura. Beautiful, beautiful king chase. Alright guys, I'll see you next time. Bye.